Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. So here we go for the live vlog. Some of you sent in some questions earlier, and what I'm going to do is just going to have a look at what you. Hi pal, how you doing? I'm all right, mate. I'm just bringing up some of the questions from earlier. Hello, Master06, how are you? Beyond belief. Hi, mate. You all right? This vlog, get your questions in. It's definitely not going to be. Kasim says, hi, Andy. Hi, mate. How are you? It's definitely not going to be an hour like it was. I'm too busy. I'm packing for my holiday tomorrow, so it's interesting just packing. Hello, Mo. How are you? I've just put my suitcase down and my wife's is on the in the spare room. Hi Boris, thanks for joining, mate. My wife's is all ironed, neatly packed. Mine, it's just like clothes. Shove them in. That's the way I do it. Hello, Fan Pros. Hi Andy. Hi Chris. E King. Hey Andy, how's it going? I'm good, mate. Yaya Tora from the Caribbean, Jamaica. Yeah, man. Great to have you on. Hassan, hi everyone, hello. Hope you're well. So yeah, so I'm just literally dumping everything in. And I'll, John Walters, hey fella, and everyone else, hey, says Afdeling Skills. Yeah, I'm just dumping everything in my suitcase and I'll line it when I get there. That's the way I work, because I spend too much time overseas, so I don't bother. Thoughts on Ferrance? Oh, I'll get that up in a second. What I'm going to do is just give me a second. What I will do is I'll open up another, because I'll need to open up two of them because I've got your questions from earlier. And then there's also obviously the live stream, which I'll bring up as well. Mo says Raheem Sterling for PFA Player of the Year. That's one of the questions that that was definitely came up earlier. Splash the cash for and spend $1 billion. It's not my money. No, it's not your money. Let me just go back and see what somebody else says. Thoughts on Ferran Soriano saying City are going to bring in exciting players in the summer. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I think it all depends on obviously what's going to happen with the investigations. The FFP stuff I'm not too concerned about. I've said that on loads of Negueza and Ndombele this season, says Mo. Mo, you needed to look at the videos we did yesterday and the day before. Ndombele for me every day. There are people who would rather have Neguez. We did a big video on it yesterday and the day before about the transfer rumours. So Mo, don't forget, check in, keep following the channel. Because we're doing live vlogs every day. There's also going to be videos. I know Harry's going to be doing a video. Tobias is from Germany, our correspondent in Germany. He's going to do, good. He's going to do a video as well. Both of them are at university in the sort of this time of year, there's exams and things. So they're both studying hard, which is what they should be doing. But they're going to, when they find the time over the next few days, they're going to do some videos. And Harry's going to do one on a certain subject. Maybe it might be. It was one I was going to do, and I just haven't had time, on the potential Puma kits and some of the concept kits that are out there with images that obviously this we can't do this on a live vlog, because what we want to do is show you all of these concept kits of the Puma potential Puma kits for next season. Yeah, so what I did was I downloaded tons and tons of images, and I said to Harry, look, if you want to do a video on this while I'm away, that'd be great. You can talk about all these different kits, ask your opinions. What do you think? Were you going on holiday, Chris? I think, did you mean where? If it's where, I'm going to Spain, just outside of Malaga in the mountains. It's a client's villa, and they kindly give it to us. We were there twice last year, and we're going again just a week. This time, just my lads have been with us before, but this time it's just me and my wife. So the lads are staying here So yeah, can't wait. Just get a week away. I'll still be doing live vlogs from around the pool and whatever else, but yeah, it's just nice just to get away. Cheers, mate. I will have a nice time regardless. Sainthood for Raheem, said John Walters. Oh yeah, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing. Thoughts on Saul? Apologies for already that one. Hassan says I was late. Well, you were late by a couple of days, mate. Azan, just check out the videos. Go and watch them again that we did yesterday and the day before. We covered the whole Niguez 2 days ago on it. So I'm not going to go over old ground because there's lots of questions to get through. But go and have a look at the videos that we did on that 2 days ago. You don't have to apologise, mate. It's not a problem whatsoever. 200 million a week sterling selfishly scores 200 million a week. Sterling selfishly scores most of England goals, leaving his teammates with hardly any. Yeah, that'd be unbelievable. That wouldn't surprise me. Actually, the headlines today have been doesn't surprise me after all that's gone before. The headlines today are obviously very positive about Raheem Sterling, and then obviously there was the issue with regards to when he scored his goal. He lifted up his top and revealed that wonderful T-shirt in memory of Damari Dawkins, the lad who he was trying to find a donor for with leukemia, and sadly died last weekend, which was horrible news. And we did a video a couple of months back on that, and go and check that out. I did some images talking all about his original hospital visits and things and what he was trying to do, and we linked it to, we put the links in there to the Leukemia Trust and others where he was asking and appealing for donors. So go and check that video out. It's a really nice video. Glad Southgate rested Sterling after hat-trick. Yeah, get him off the pitch. You know, don't want any injuries. Certainly not him. He's absolutely amazing at the moment. Sane almost got injured. We're lucky, says Master 06. Yeah, he was. I posted, said it yesterday, I posted the video just literally seconds after it happened. I rewinded the match that I was watching live, saw the incident, and I posted it on Twitter. It was a horrendous tackle, absolutely awful. Any news on the stadium expansion, Fav? We spoke again. We've spoken about this for the last couple of days. So if you're new, don't worry, Fab. It's fine asking these questions. It's just we're not going to go back over them again because quite a number of people on this live stream have already, we've gone over these questions before. But go and check out the videos we did yesterday and the day before, where we spoke about the stadium expansion and whether it's going to happen or not. It's bad when the manager is apologising for a foul. Yes, exactly. Chris Welch, I'll be back from Stranraer and back in Carlisle on Monday. The weather's been crap so far. I'm so sorry for that, mate. But that's the UK for you, and that's Scotland for you. Weather's not supposed to be brilliant next week for me. This week, I think it's been 25, 26 degrees, but I think next week it's going to be more sort of 20, 22 degrees, but certainly going to be warmer than it is here. So no problem, Azan. Just check those videos out. King of Assist, hi mate, how are you? Beyond Belief said the third tier of the North Family Stand will take the Etihad capacity to 62.5. Yes, it will do. We've got to weigh up the odds of, will we sell? We've got to be realistic. Will we sell that many season tickets for that? I'm not too sure at this moment in time. The last thing we want is to expand the stadium, big cost, and then have more empty seats. Let's face it, we get enough grief as it is now, even though we've got a very good 98.1% home average attendance, which is the same as Liverpool. We don't really want to be extending it if we're not guaranteed to sell those seats. So I think probably hold back and see what safe standing and the government do about safe standing before they actually commit to extending the North Stand, the family stand. Sterling was amazing yesterday, 3 goals. Yes, we're going to talk about Raheem Sterling. Fav says, who do you think will be our manager, or who do you think our manager will be after Pep? Good question. Maybe we'll put that out on here. We'll maybe have that as a question as well. What do people think? I did speak a little bit about that yesterday on yesterday's live vlog. How are you, Richard Logger? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I hope you're well. Be better weather in Scotland, but you never know. Can rain in Spain. It did last time I was in Spain. Yeah, can do. I think they've even forecast Wednesday, Thursday for the odd thunderstorm. We're right up in the mountains, so it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to get it. We'll get it before everybody by the beachside and that type of thing. But it's going to be definitely warmer than it is here. Master 06, I live in Canada, so can't talk to no one about this stuff. Glad I come on here. Hey, you're more than welcome, mate. I said we're the only channel that posts videos every single day, sometimes 2 a day. These live vlogs, certainly while the international break is going on. When it's sort of match going season and everything starts again, after next week, we'll probably be down to 1, possibly sometimes 2, but mainly 1 main video per day. But every single day, there's not. If you go back, I don't think we've missed. I think one time we missed a day through various reasons, and going back to sort of April last year, I don't think we've missed a single day. Well, me or Ray haven't put out videos. So if you want your Man City stuff, what's going on, etc., this is the channel to come to. And like if we're doing these live vlogs, you can join in, which is great. So whereabouts in Canada do you live, out of interest? Hassan says, thoughts on friendly matches at this time, because they're just pointless with fear of players getting injured. Yeah, got some qualifiers and friendlies and things like that. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It is, certainly considering that we don't have a winter break. So the players are literally one after the other. Thankfully, we've got half of our players sort of not joining up because of injuries already, but this 2-week break gives them time to recuperate from a rest point of view, get the bodies back fit again, and come back. King says, yeah, we should extend our capacity at Etihad if we win the Champions League. We'll see. We'll see. Any news on injuries? No. JTR 35. Nothing yet. Still said it yesterday. Gave an update yesterday from the physio room and said about who is going to be. It looks like, if anything, come the Fulham game, that Kevin De Bruyne will certainly be back. It looks like Fernandinho will definitely be back. John Stones is still hit and miss, so is Vincent Kompany. So certainly we've got our 2 key players back, which is the main thing. Benjamin Mendy, we don't know. It's still in the balance. But I believe that they're in light training anyway at the Etihad. So it just depends whether they need more than a week before the Fulham game. But it looks like 2 key players, De Bruyne and Fernandinho, looks like they're definitely going to be back. Do you think the likes of Hart, Yaya, Zaba, Silva and Aguero get a statue outside the stadium, says Fav? I don't know about Hart, and I don't know, well, Yaya has already got his mosaic, which we spoke about yesterday. I'd tear it down after his comments after he left City. Zaba, Silva, Aguero and Kompany, for me, they should be the 4 people that should be in the statue if there's going to be one outside the Etihad, definitely, without shadow of a doubt. Chris Welsh says, you lot be hoping Sterling doesn't play on Monday. Yes, sadly, I think he will. That's just the way it is. I live in the capital. I only know one City fan, says Ema J. In capital of where? I live in the capital. Are you talking about London or somewhere else? Ifan Ragush says, international football's boring, bring back City. Yeah, it's that, always the same. Canada. Right, okay, so you live in Ottawa. So, yeah, what, just, is that it, just one? What, are they mainly Liverpool United fans, or is it Chelsea, Arsenal? Let us know. It's not, I guess, Ottawa's not really a, big footballing or soccer. City. Andy, any news on Zaba returning City next year? Make great videos always, Mike Heap. Thank you. Well, it's I think what's happened is on the Zaba is that City and Pep have approached him. and they've basically said, we'd like you to come back in a coaching capacity in the summer. He's got still a potential 12-month contract with West Ham. And I think it's going to be down to him whether he decides enough is enough now. By all accounts, talking to West Ham fans, he's not been great so far this season. And it looks like his legs have finally given out. So it's down to Zabba. Does he want another year of a big salary? And nobody can deny that if he wants to do that. Or whether he decides enough is enough. I want to go back to Manchester and join the coaching staff. So I think it's always been common knowledge that City wanted to give him a role in some capacity. Pep obviously clearly likes the guy personally, and from a footballing perspective knows his affiliation with the City fans and the affection that we have for him. And I think has already probably long time ago spoke to him about this fact. So I guess it'll come, we'll see in May when the season finishes, and Pablo, I've got a feeling he'll call it a day at the end of the season and possibly come back to Manchester, which will be brilliant. Kazim said, just a week to go till we play Fulham. Can't wait. City are back playing a game. Yes, it's always the same, especially these 2-week breaks. It's a bloody nightmare. John Walters always thought Richard Dunn made 2-man. Always thought Richard Dunn made 2. John, can you clarify that, mate? Master also says, GTG, Andy, gotta go. Okay, mate, no problem whatsoever. Check in tomorrow. Ray will be doing a video tomorrow. Ema J, friends are real. Friends are all Real, Barca and Juve fans. I'm the only City fan. That's fine. You know, we've all been there when we've lived in different countries where, you know, opposition fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's a good thing because you get the perspective of, you know, what do they think of City, and maybe you can convert a few of them. But certainly you've got 3 big teams there, Real, Barca and Juve. And be interesting if we draw, certainly Barca or Juve in the next round if we go through in the Champions League, and then, or certainly Juve, sorry, and then Barca potentially in the final. You can have a good night with those guys. John Walters always thought Richard Dunn made too many mistakes to be considered a City great. Yeah, quite possibly. I don't think he's at that legendary status, but certainly a wonderful player for Man City and a great captain. I think, what was it, he was voted 4 times as the player of the season. So a brilliant servant to City. Fab says, seeing as young players are all similar ages, do you think in 10 years we will need a complete overhaul? You're talking years in advance there. I think what will happen is, I think this over the last 3 years, I think a lot of the players that have been signed have been under the auspices of Pep's decision. Pep sort of talking to Ferran and Cheeky, and basically saying the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, and we want them, Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, Leroy Sané, etc., Bernardo Silva. And I think what he's trying to do is build a team that will certainly be, probably next season, a team that can go 5 years with no real major changes, just maybe the odd addition every season. But then obviously, like anything, when players start getting 28, 29, 30, there'll be plans in place a year or 2 before that to replace them. So I think what we'll see next season, if we're not banned from player signings, is you'll see the Pep team that is going to be here for potentially the next 4 or 5 years, even if he's not. Stadium going on the back burner. Just spoke about that, Ethan, before. I don't think any decision will be made on the stadium expansion until the government, the UK government, decide what they're doing with safe standing. I certainly can't see it happening in the next 12 months anyway. Estimating HCP quality, not quantity yet. I agree. Beyond belief, Dunny scored some belting on goals, bullet headers, top corners, volleys. Yeah, he did. And he still holds the record, I think, equal record of the most sent-off Premier League player in history. Chris Welch, Gunnar hasn't been on for a while with his one-word comments. He hasn't, mate. Maybe he'll join us. Finland said Premier League table. I'm assuming this is the finish. First place City, second place Liverpool, Man United third, Tottenham fourth, Chelsea fifth, Arsenal sixth. So you think United will get third? Big shout that, mate. Ethan Keegan gave me a free ticket that day for the Sheffield game. What a guy. Yeah, lovely man. Very, very nice guy. City will win the Premier League, said Finland. Yeah, I agree. Said it for months now, even when we're 7 points behind. King of Assist, I want to live near the Etihad and can be a season ticket holder. I live in Farnham Town. Can you find me a flat to stay? No, mate, I can't find you a flat to stay near the Etihad. I just can't, mate. I'm sure you can go online and find, if you want to actually live near the Etihad, obviously the Etihad is only a mile or two from the centre of Manchester, so it becomes more and more expensive the closer you get. And there's big redevelopment around the Etihad Stadium, so you'll need to go online and what do you do? How old are you? Why do you want to move from Farnham? Fav says, as it looks like Micah Richards will retire, do you think he'll come back to the club? I doubt it. Maybe later in his life, as in an ambassadorial role, should say. Looks like, I think Mike has already retired anyway. I think I did a video on him about 6 weeks ago where he announced that enough is enough now. He can't take it. His body can't take it. Wonderful servant, well loved by everybody at the club. But I don't think he'll come back just yet in any capacity. I think he'll probably be invited by the club at certain games and things like that. But I think in the future he'll possibly have an ambassadorial role, something like that, because he's a Manc lad, loves the club through and through. Ema, it's very tense with my friends if we face Juve. Yeah, it will be, and that's good. That's the way it should be. It should be tense. Get to arguments and whatever else, bit of competition. Kazim says Micah Richards was a great talent, but just never worked out. No, sadly, injuries cost him, unfortunately. Chris Welch, my Premier League table, Liverpool. Of course you're going to say Liverpool. City second, Tottenham third, United fourth, Arsenal fifth, Chelsea sixth. Have to back my team. Of course you have to back your team, mate. Well, no problems whatsoever with that. City Chief has confirmed that there will be some new players in the summer. City Chief, are you talking about the Twitter account? That's not run by Cheeky or Ferran Soriano. City Chief is just a Twitter account. I wouldn't be just taking gospel what they say, mate. Honestly, they're just like any newspaper article. So we won't be signing anybody if we get a ban, which we could quite easily get a ban by FIFA. So I would hold fire on any of that, getting yourselves all excited. The FIFA ban is absolutely real, trust me. Forget the FFP stuff, the FIFA ban is absolutely real. And we'll know certainly by probably the end of next week what's going to happen with that. So I wouldn't even be thinking about potential players yet until we know exactly what's going to happen with FIFA, because my own opinion is they're going to charge us and they're going to ban us for at least 2 transfer windows. And I think we'll go down the same route with it as Chelsea have. I'm being absolutely blunt with it, and that's just my opinion. Sancho, hugely overrated for me. Lots of hype at the moment. He would never get near our team. Great talent, there's no doubt in it whatsoever. But could he take Leroy Sané's place or Sterling? In my opinion, no, not now. That's just my lad coming back. Our biggest threat in the Champions League are the officials, quite possibly. Would you like to see Leeds in the Premier League? Yeah, I would. I really would. I'd like to see them back. Big club. So certainly the hatred for United anyway, I mean, between fans and everything. So yeah, they've been out of the Premier League far too long. I mean, Ferran Soriano. Well, yeah, but it's like I said, it's all dependent. Sorry, I thought you had City Chief. There's a Twitter account called City Chief. It all depends on the ban, and we'll wait and see. If you can post a link to where he has personally said that, maybe I can read it, because I haven't read anything today about that. Gaz T, do you think Pepper's lost patience with Mendy and will move him on? I don't think he will. I think he'll give him another season, but I think if there's more injuries come next season, that'll be his last season at Man City. Fav says, I was only 4 when Liverpool won the Champions League. How painful was that? I'll be honest with you. I watched it, and it was a wonder. It was a absolutely amazing comeback. No doubt in it whatsoever. Ethan says, shame FIFA weren't banning clubs back when United were tapping up players in the 90s. Well, I mean, they broke every transfer record going in the 90s and early 2000s. You know, you forget the likes of Rio Ferdinand, you know, 32 million pounds. I mean, it was unheard of for a defender. And they forget that. Sancho's probably a bit better than Mahrez. A bit. I would take Sancho over Mahrez every day of the week. Mike Heap, Andy, what's your thoughts on how many games we'll win on the running and titles? Well, I don't think we'll get beaten. I think we'll go unbeaten until the end. I think it all depends on what happens with Liverpool. But if we go, you know, when I say unbeaten, it doesn't mean saying we'll win every game. I've always said it, I don't think we'll get the quadruple. I think we'll get the treble this season. And I think it'll be the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup and the Premier League. Something about the Champions League. I think we'll possibly get through against Spurs, and then Juve. I don't know, but who knows? You know, let's just hope we win the quadruple. But I just can't see it. That's why I don't think, you know, the reason why teams haven't done it. Keep or sell Mahrez in the summer. For me, I'm not bothered either way. I would sell him. I don't think he does enough. I think he's too old in that respect. You know, 28, 29 next season. I think he's had plenty of opportunities to show what he could do. I think he was a luxury buy, if I'm honest. But I think he'll be here. There's no doubt about it. And hopefully next season, he somehow sort of gets into some sort of form, but the problem being is whose place is he going to take? He's going to be a rotational player next season. He's going to be in exactly the same position. So let's see. I would love to see clubs like Leeds, Forest back in the Premier League. Yeah, me too. Estimated says agreed. Beyond Belief says, in United's day, they outspent their closest rivals combined in transfers. What would the equivalent? Well, yeah. They haven't spent anywhere near what City and Chelsea have when you look back, but we had to do it because if you look at their continued spending that happened, and there was a great graphic on Twitter that showed from the start of the Premier League, and it moved up and it showed you teams from 92 going right up to the present day where they were in the spending each year. And this graph just kept going and going and going and going. And you saw it was just, and this is world football we're talking about. United and Liverpool were right up there in the top 4 throughout Europe for years and years and years and years of spending each year. City then suddenly, as it happened with the takeover, we came up and then came up and then came up and then we went to the top and then we got replaced and we went back to the top. But that's because we had to do it. We were so far behind the money that they'd spent over, you know, 15, 20 years. Mahrez is better than Sancho for what he did at Leicester. Sancho couldn't do that. Mahrez did that at Leicester. What he did at Leicester when he did do it was 3 years ago. I mean, that's a long time ago. It's not what he's doing now. You've got to bear in mind, you know, he wasn't great for us. It's not been great this season. Wasn't great for Leicester last season. It was only the title winning season that he was really good. So what do you think, Kevin Kakao? What do you think, Sauna? Guys, go and check out the videos we did yesterday and the day before. We did a big thing on him. The officials, beyond belief, the officials will wreck City's chance in the Champions League. Who knows? Probably. I agree, Mahrez at City. I think we should cash in or buy younger talents. We'll see. I think he'll be here for another season, without a shadow of a doubt. Ian J says, beyond belief, the officiating last year got us robbed. It did in the we were there for the Champions League quarterfinals. And sadly, sorry, Chris, but yeah, there were 3 decisions that could have changed the game significantly. Certainly the home leg, the second leg when we were given offside for goals that were fine, and at that time it would have been 3-2. Could have been a completely different second half, but it didn't. I think that deflated the team. Chris Welsh, if you need a backup goalkeeper and left back, take Carries, Mignolet, Moreno. No, you're all right, mate. You're perfectly fine with Muric, even Bravo better than those three. Kasim, don't know why Mangala's still at the club. He's not even playing. Well, it's quite simple. It's down to economics, and you've got an option of either trying to let Mangala go on a free or sign him up to a contract for another year and possibly get £8-10 million for him. Mangala will no doubt be sold in the summer, in my opinion. Don't think he's there as coverage or anything like that. I think it's just sign another contract, and we've paid you all this money for the last 4 years. Sign another contract and we might get £8-10 million back from another team. So for the contract that they give him for a few £1,000,000, we'll recoup a profit of 6 to 8 million for him. So that's the reason why Mangala's been given a contract, in my opinion. United were known to outspend their 4 closest rivals combined. That would be like us spending over £500 million every summer. Yeah, catching up beyond belief. Angel Amaro, would you like to see Declan Rice at City? Good question. I mean, it's one of those, there's plenty of City fans who watch him quite closely. I don't watch him very closely. I've seen him and I've been very impressed with him. He's young, he's English, he's an international. So he's certainly an option. He's certainly got the credentials. So, yeah, he could be an option. No thanks, Chris. Yeah. Ifan says, fan channels now have their own football teams. Are you getting one together? Our own football teams? No, I think there's only United, Full-Time Devils and Arsenal Fan TV who did that, and that was just more for clicks and everything else, and trying to create the Mark Goldbridge versus Mr. DT thing. So no, we won't be doing that. Chris, I agree on about our second leg with you lot, Champions League last season. Yeah, I mean, it's true, we were there, we've seen it, and it's old ground. There's no point in debating it. Sell Delph says Fab. No, I don't think we will. You got to bear in mind, suddenly everyone's calling out for Delph to be sold. He came back from a number of injuries. Let's not forget how good Delph was last season. He was superb being converted to a left-back. This season he's had a number of injuries. And he came back into a game. That was his first game back, and you know what it's like when you come back from injuries. It takes you a game or two to get back in the swing of things. And he made a couple of mistakes. But then other players have made mistakes this season. Zinchenko in particular has made 2 or 3 awful mistakes. But because he's played so well in the last 4 or 5 games, we sort of forget that. So, I wouldn't be too down on Fabian Delph. I think he'll stay. He's perfectly happy to rotate. And that's what you want. People who are happy to be squad players. And everyone can't be a starter every week. Who would you like to see play at Man City? Says Daniel Long. Lionel Messi? Kasim Ali, I think Delph will stay. I don't think he'll leave. I don't think he'll leave. Like I said, he's a squad player. He's a utility player. And you need those. Like Gundogan is. Gundogan is a utility player. And you need those in your teams. It's really important. Some fans turn on players quickly like Delph. I'm not aiming at a lot of City fans too. Some were the same as Henderson. You've got to remember that last season, Delph has not played a lot of games this season, but last season, he was up there in probably the top 3 or 4 players of the season for what he did at left-back. He was superb, absolutely brilliant. And then he's hardly played this season. And then, he comes back after, 2-3 months of injuries, little niggles, things, gives a penalty away, and suddenly everyone's on his back, and it's like, get rid of him. And, we forget the mistakes that have been made by Otamendi, by John Stones, by Laporte, by Zinchenko, by Kyle Walker, by Danilo. They've all made mistakes as well this season. So, let's not be too hard on him. We need players that are happy to rotate. and be a utility player, and Delph is that. So I'm happy. He might go in the summer, I don't know, but I'm happy to give him another year. Dybala, the perfect Aguero replacement. Ethan says he's certainly. The rumours are today that Chris Welch ain't gonna like that, but that he may be part of a swap deal for Mo Salah. I'll wait for Chris's reply. I disagree. Phil says Argentine players never let us down. He's a good player, and the good thing with Dybala is he can play in 2 or 3 different positions. So he can play wide right, he can play the lone striker role, he can play just behind the striker. So he is, and in a Pep system, he likes players who are flexible. Dybala's more a central attacking midfielder, but like I said, he can play in numerous positions. Fav says, do you think any of our centre-backs will leave, and if so, who could Eric Garcia? Centre-backs leave. Well, I think we said about Mangala. I think Company will get another 12-month contract. I don't think there's any shadow of a doubt that he will get at least 12 more months, which leaves us with the likes of Otamendi, Laporte and John Stones. I'll be surprised if Otamendi goes this season. I think he's got 1 more year left, but Eric Garcia is definitely the future. He's gonna be in that 3 of Laporte, Stones and Garcia will be the future, I think, for the next 4 or 5 years. I think he's Pep rates him so highly, and Barca were absolutely gutted that Carlos Puyol, who's his agent, did a deal with Pep Guardiola to take him. He was the one player that was going to coming through La Masia to replace Piqué, and he was their bright spark. Puyol did a deal behind the back with Pep, and Pep was really chuffed that he got him. So that's how highly they rate Garcia, and as we know now, he's the captain of the under-18s. He's had a few opportunities this season, and I think with the tours in the summer, next season, you'll see him starting regularly, I think, in the cup competitions, and he'll be introduced at 19 years of age into the City squad. Remember, he's a centre-back, so, you know, he's got loads of time to develop under Pep Guardiola. Virgil van Dijk makes mistakes in games at Anfield against you lot when he conceded a penalty, and our fans said nothing yet. There you go. I'd take just Dybala, thanks. What without Salah? Salah won't go back to Italy, Madrid, I reckon. Possibly. Hi, Andy, mate. How are you? Says Shedders One. I'm all right. I'm good, mate. Yo, Hawaii Hussein is in the house. Super Andy. Ethan, Liverpool have to sell at least 1 big name every season to balance the books. That's a good point, actually. It is a good point. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Liverpool in the summer. Hi, says Yanelis Rodriguez. Hi, where are you from? I think you're new to this channel. Kasim, would have loved to have seen Iniesta play for us. Oh, yeah, wonderful, wonderful player. Oasis says, Andy. Yes, mate. Big man Oasis in the house, boys. Big man. I think you're about 4'5". Big man Oasis. Do you buy into the media hype with Sancho? I don't see it. I think he's a very good player, no doubt about it. Like I said before, imagine, you know, United apparently today have had talks with his representatives over a £70 million deal. And that he might fit into United system, but who are they going to get rid of? They've got the likes of Sanchez, Lukaku, Rashford, Martial, whose place is going to take. And if he came back to City, you've got to look at it and think, well, who does he start ahead of? The only player you can think of is Leroy Sané. Can't see him starting ahead of Leroy Sané, no way. So it'd be another rotational player for £70 million. It'd be a Mahrez. It just wouldn't work. And I think the fact, you know what Pep's like, Pep wanted him to stay, asked him to stay, he refused. Pep rarely ever goes back twice for anybody. If he says, do you want to stay? And they say no. Or he says, do you want to come? And they say no. Doesn't go back for you again. The only person he went back for was Laporte. And that was because Laporte said, look, I want to come, but I'm just not now because I'm injured. So he went back for him. Everyone else who has refused him, he's never gone back in for. So I can't see Sanchez coming back to Man City. Not at all. Way Sal's been playing at the moment, I would sell him if I'm honest. He's not been great, but you know, strikers sometimes, and you know, whatever, go through those periods. Was last season a one-off freak year where he was incredible? There's no doubt about it. He was absolutely on fire. This season, he's not been anywhere near the player he was last season. Still got good stats, but nowhere near the player. Panache Tapera. Hi, Andy, my friend. Hello. Hi, Panache. Where are you from? I don't, you know, I think that's the first time I've seen your name. So where are you from, mate? Shellers one, haven't we got 20% sell-on clause? Yes, we have. That's absolutely true. So on top of the 8 million quid, we could get another 14 million pounds. So 22 million quid for a kid. Not bad. Good business. Yanela's Rodriguez, I'm from Puerto Rico. Brilliant. Puerto Rico. Askis says, get rid of Mahrez and get in Sancho. Can't see it happening, mate. Five says, will Zach Stefan be our second choice and what will happen to the keepers? Don't know. I'll be surprised. I don't know. He's a very good keeper. A very, very good keeper. We'll have to see in the summer because we can't have Ederson, Stefan, Muric and Bravo. It just ain't going to happen. So it wouldn't surprise me if Bravo goes, I must admit, in the summer, unless he's happy to be third choice keeper and we get Muric back out on loan and Stefan comes in. We'll see. Ethan said we should have kept Maffeo and Angelino. Always thought they were good enough. To be fair, both had poor seasons, and you know, as good as they were, Maffeo certainly for me and Angelino, yeah, they were. I mean, they look great, but Angelino did really well. There's no doubting about that. But Maffeo had a really poor season. Has hardly had any game time since he went from loan, was sold. So it just goes to show you, I don't know what's happened to him. Certainly after that wonderful game he had against Lionel Messi when against Barcelona, when he was at Girona, and Messi said he man-marked him off the pitch, and Messi struggled. So since then it's been like that with him. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. Panache says, I'm from Zimbabwe but live in Manchester. Oh, right, okay, Panache. Do you go to the Etihad? Do you go to the games? Chris Welsh, I didn't expect Salah to repeat last season's success. I said if you get 20 league goals this season, still great. Yeah, last season, like I said, I think was a one-off. But it doesn't even look like he's playing well at the moment. Ivan says, Maffeo needs Pogba's marketing team. Yeah. Kasim says, what's your thoughts on Stefan Jovetic? Yeah. He was so-so. Came with a great reputation, I think, from, where was he from? Fiorentina. But yeah, no, he wasn't great. He was all right. He had a couple of good games. Do you think Alex Garcia has a future at City? Alex Garcia, are you talking about the Spaniard Alex Garcia who used to be at Man City, who went on loan? No, if you're talking about him. Eric Garcia, the Barcelona kid, definitely future centre-back for Man City. Yanelis Rodriguez, I'm in Minnesota right now, though. Oh, right, okay. Where were you before? Sorry, I missed. I've got so many people. Oh, from Puerto Rico, but you're in Minnesota. Is that on business or are you living there? Chris Welch, that's why Marnie has gone ahead of Salah for Player of the Year contender. Yeah, certainly for Liverpool. I'm not sure whether he's in Premier League Player of the Year. But he's certainly played better this season without shadow of a doubt. Panache, right now I pick and choose which games to go to, but I'm going to try and get a season ticket this season. Good luck with that one, mate. There's a massive waiting list. Hope you're on the waiting list, otherwise chances are you're not going to get one. But you'll always get tickets, and if you're struggling to get tickets next season or what, just come and see us and send us an email at mcscfantv@gmail.com, and we'll always try and help. I've had somebody today who's emailed us asking if we can get tickets for the Cardiff game. If they are blind, so they need audio description, and we'll try and see if we can do that and help them out. Spider-Man says, do you think Sterling gets hate for being in Manchester City? What would have happened if he played for United? I think similar. I don't think it's anything to do with City. I think it's the fact it all started when he left Liverpool, and he moved from Liverpool to City. He could have moved from Liverpool to United. He was always going to get hate, but I think a lot of it came down with to the fact that Liverpool fans tend to give players who leave a really hard time, and the fact that he was young and wanted to move. And that I did a video on it. I did a massive video. Go back and search it. I did a really big video on all the issue with Raheem Sterling. Did it probably about August time, October time last year. And there's interviews in there and things like that. And you have to remember the Raheem Sterling backstory was that Brendan Rodgers and Liverpool wanted him to sign for £100,000 a week. That was the contract that they were going to give him. So discussions were ongoing, and he said, I don't want to do anything right now. And this was around about December time. And he said, I don't want to do anything right now. I want to play this season through. We're in cup competitions, and I will. And I want to discuss this in the summer, which you would expect Liverpool at the time to have honoured that private conversation. And then in the January, Brendan Rodgers was asked in a press conference about the fact that Liverpool had made given him an offer, and he came out in the press, Brendan Rodgers, and said, "We've given a wonderful offer of £100,000 a week, and he's at this moment in time he's refusing to sign the contract." That started the whole thing. Now, if you're a player at that age and you're the agent of that player, and you're hearing and watching this on Sky Sports News or whatever, you're thinking, what? Why have you just come out and said that in the media? Basically, they were trying to force him into a corner to say, you're greedy, sign the contract now. And yet he'd said to them on numerous occasions, I want to discuss this in the summer. I don't want to sign a contract now, which is his right to do so. Then he came out and did that BBC... sorry, I can see something on my arm. Then he did that BBC... I think it was Liverpool Tonight or something like that, interview where he was asked all the questions. Now, clearly that was organised by his agent, because in the meantime, he'd been given absolute dog's abuse. And you can see pictures of where he's warming up and Liverpool fans in the Kop are giving him the finger and, hatred because of this. But the thing that stirred it all was the ex-Liverpool players, likes of John Aldridge, who came out writing horrendous stuff in articles about him, saying he was greedy and he was this. That started it. Now, if you're a Kopite and you read stuff like that by an legend, even John Barnes, and as much as John Barnes has come out, he made nasty comments about it as well. Then, of course, Liverpool fans are going to think it must be true, and he must be a greedy player, and he must be... Well, basically, they forced him in at such a corner that, he decided enough was enough, and the treatment he got from Liverpool fans said that I can't play here anymore, and he moved to City. And when you look at it, £44 million, was it? £43 million? QPR got £8 million of that. So for 35 million quid, we got Raheem Sterling. And with that money, Liverpool bought Christian Benteke, who got the better deal. Anyway, moving on. That's a bit about Raheem. Go and watch the videos that I did last year about it. Best City game you've been to? Well, there's been loads. The 6-1 at Old Trafford. But my favourite was the 5-1 at Main Road when we beat them. We were a team at the time, had some great players, but weren't doing very well, and always got battered by United, and then we won 5-1, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful day. The Liverpool win earlier on in the season on the 3rd of January this year, that was an amazing atmosphere. Barney is amazing. I wanted him at Southampton. Fair play, Liverpool took the gamble. Yep. As I live here. I'm only 10 years old. My birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday, mate. Please make sure that adults are with you. You've got to be careful on here because of language and things like that. So I hope you have a good birthday, mate. But please be careful. Panesh, yeah, I'm on the waiting list. Good. Well, there you go. So Armstrong, hi Andy, think Sterling should be considered as player of the season together with Conor. I agree, totally agree. And it wouldn't surprise me after his performance last night if he's not jumped up probably ahead of Sergio. So he's on a par with Van Dijk, because it just seems that when... You got to remember, we've got the likes of Sergio and Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva potentially on that list. Liverpool have got Van Dijk. Salah's not on that list. Mane might get on that list, but it's going to be a bit too late. So when people vote, you've got split the vote, because you've got 2 or 3 City players on only 1 Liverpool. So you see how it works, and it's one of those. But I think he's certainly jumped up after last night's performance. Hi, Will Davis. Hi. Image said Rodriguez, happy birthday. Yep, Shedders, happy birthday, Ian Ellis. Thank you, guys. You're welcome. Oh, God, jumped a few there. I don't hate players who leave, says Chris Welch. That's fair enough. Raheem wanted to win trophies. Yeah, and he has done. You happy with our new sponsor? Yes, get Nike out. Awful kits. They're just copy and paste kits. Terrible, terrible. And the sponsorship deal for us with Puma is absolutely immense. You're at the Luton game, said Away. So, all right, okay. Today, Kasim, looking forward to seeing our new Puma kits. Watch out for the video. I think Harry might do it. A video on it. If not, I'll do one next week. But I think Harry might do a video on the Puma kits and having a look at some of the kits that are out there. Some of them look awful. Some of them look absolutely amazing. And if we end up with if we end up with something different that's half-hearted and garbage, I'll be disappointed, because you only have to look at some of these concept kits. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't agree with ex-players who write bad stuff like Sterling. Yeah, I mean, some of them just need to shut their mouths sometimes. I mean, Aldridge is the worst for it. I mean, he's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. Wasn't just from Liverpool fans; he got abuse from Evergrande England fans. Yes, yeah, absolutely, and you've got to wonder why. But when people read headlines, which we saw the agenda, and look at the videos, like I keep saying, look at the videos I did. It's a picture of Raheem Sterling with a devil mask on and Mo Salah with a crown on as the thumbnail. That video there, I talk all about the media's treatment of Raheem Sterling. Go back, scroll back, it was last year in the summer. Go back and watch that video. It's about 20-30 minutes long, and it talk all about the headlines and everything else. And when fans of opposition teams see that, you know, you get the lemmings who just follow whatever the headline says and believe exactly that. And as it's turned out, it's been proven to be wrong. What's your point on Aguero never being in the team of the player? I'm thinking you mean the team of the year. Do you think it's fair? No, I don't. And I think most pundits would agree and say they just can't understand how not. Should Mendy leave since Zinchenko is on fire? No, I think he'll get another season. And I think if he keeps fit, he'll retain his left-back position, because he's absolutely brilliant when he's fit. You only have to look at his assists. Hardly played at all this season and still joined 8th, I think, or 9th in the Premier League on assists. And has never hardly played. That's how good he is. But he's got to stay fit. Team of the season. Good question. We've got... we were... Tom Carter, who's I don't think he's on here at the moment, he asked a question yesterday, which we did, which was on European 11 versus South American 11, and we did that yesterday. Next week we might do a Premier League all-time team versus a La Liga all-time team. Make it over since '92, so when the Premier League started. But that's a good one. Team of the season. Maybe we'll do a video. Maybe do a live vlog on that. So if we do, what we'll do is we'll do a video beforehand to say, guys, we're going live at whatever time in a few hours' time. Have a think of who would be your team of the season so far. So good answer. Good question. Shedder says Sergio the only player to win a Golden Boot, never to be in the team of the year. Yeah, I mean, it don't make sense. Dennis, sorry, missed that. Dennis, remember when he came to the City? Liverpool or price they didn't want to sell, but the value of him, just in case it was flop at City, no other club would want to buy him. Yeah. Is Ray a secret West Ham fan? I've seen him blowing bubbles, says City boy. Ray does a lot of work for charity, and that's one of his things that he does for charities around Europe and in the UK. He does some amazing bubble blowing stuff, so go over and check him out. It's called Paris Bubbles, because obviously when he lived in Paris, and does some great stuff for charity. Bro, it's Momo. Hi mate, you all right? Can we trust Sani in the running for the title? I think we can. Ray's a great guy, he is. I think we can trust Sani. Just need to get his head right, and maybe Velcro his mum's lips together and say to her, look, stay out of this until the summer. If you want to get involved then. But it seems that it's no surprise that with all this transfer rumour or contract rumours and things like that, and then his mum's getting involved allegedly, we don't know whether it's absolutely true or not. Apparently Stu Brennan from the Manchester Evening News says he's not heard any rumours on that, so it could be paper talk. But it's no surprise that his form has he's been a bit like this season, but I think if he gets his head screwed on, wonderful player. Have you ever played Football Manager, Andy? No, I haven't, mate. I haven't. I don't tend to. I play fantasy football stuff with Premier League stuff on in leagues and things that I've done for years, but I'm not a sort of Xbox, PS4 person. My lads play them, but I don't. It don't interest me. I'm too busy. Brian, Kit Churcher. If City win the quadruple and Sterling plays a huge role in the England go on to win the UEFA Nations League, could it be shouted for a Ballon d'Or? Absolutely, without shadow of a doubt. Certainly, definitely, he's got to be nominated. Fav says, if Yaya and Milner go to company's testimony, do you think they'll get booed? Probably not on that night. Probably not. City Boy said the St. Mark's kit is amazing. Yes, it is. The black one you're talking about. Thanks for warning me. Don't know about that. It's happy birthday in Alaise, Chris. Whenever any player leaves us, I always wish them the best. Well, so you should. I mean, that's it. You know, the footballers at the end of the day, and it's a job. We forget that it's a job. That's what their job is. Their job is to make as much money as they can, enjoy what they're doing, and we're just an afterthought because we're the fans, unfortunately, and we sometimes get a little bit. You should be staying here and you should be doing this. It's a job for them. Don't forget that. What's your opinion, says Spider-Man, on the allegations that is surrounding City now? I'm worried if City might get banned. We could quite easily get banned. I don't know from the Champions League, but certainly we could get a transfer window ban, maybe 1 or 2 windows. Like I said, watch the videos we did with Colin, Press Switch Blue, and Jonathan Northcroft from the Sunday Times. Go back and check those out a few weeks ago. It gives you the inside track on what's really happening with FFP. But FFP is not the worry for us. It's the FIFA allegations over the Sancho payment and the signing underage players that we've got to be very careful of. Have a nice day, mate. You too. That's what we've got to be careful of, because that's going to get us the transfer window bans, not the FFP stuff. I don't think there's anything in that, and not that we can't defend anyway. So I won't worry too much about that. Starting 11 for company's testimonial. Another good question. Maybe we'll do that another day. That's a good question. Still waiting for company to tackle Manchester. Vincent's company for the testimonial. I'm still waiting for them to send the artwork back for the that we're auctioning off for Vincent's company tackle for Manchester. When I get that back, I'll do a video on that. What did you think about my countryman Benjam? What's that? What do you think? Sorry, missed that. Benjani. Actually, funny, Benjani. Have a nice day. Yeah, you too. Benjani I met. I was travelling out to Dubai a number of years back, and I was in business class on the A380, and at the back of the A380 they've got a bar. Anyway, I checked in at Manchester Airport and I went through to the Emirates Lounge, and suddenly I was looking up, I was thinking, Roque Santa Cruz, Benjani, Roberts, and suddenly what I realised, I was surrounded in the Emirates Lounge at Manchester Airport by all the Blackburn Rovers team, and they were all there going on. It was about end of January. They were all going on warm weather training to Dubai. So I took my seat, and Jason Roberts actually sat next to me in the business class on the aircraft next to me. So of course after takeoff I go to the bar, and they've got a really great bar at the back. Well, I ended up spending hours there, sat next to John Jensen, who was the assistant manager and coach, and chatting to Roque Santa Cruz amongst others, and got a video because my oldest lad, loved Benjani at the time for some reason. I don't know why, but I got a video of him giving him a message to my son that I sent him back when I landed in Dubai. And yeah, spent 8 hours with them in the bar, and had a there was lots of Paul Robinson was there, and I've still got the videos and pictures and everything. Maybe one day I'll show you the videos and put it on the channel, because they were all very, very drunk. But yeah, Benjani, nice guy, lovely guy, not the best of footballers. What else have we got? Because we're going to finish shortly. I said this was going to be short, as it always, it's an hour. Can't stop dreaming about the quadruple. Yeah, me neither. I stay in Bangalore, India. What can we do to promote Man City more here and get more followers to City? A lot of United followers here. Yeah, there's going to be, but I think a massive thing is when India gets when the City Football Group buy the Indian team, and that gets going, you'll see a lot of those United fans will come over to support City. Not sure what the name of the club's going to be or who they're going to buy, but the City are definitely, I think this summer, there's going to be big movements on City buying an Indian team. Do you think Real Madrid will spend big in the summer? Yeah, but I think they'll also sell a lot of players. I think there's rumours today that Toni Kroos is up for like 60 million quid. Do you think teams will raise their game against us due to chasing for trophies? Yeah, I think they will, Charles, definitely. I think everyone's going to raise the game because we're going to be playing teams that are close to the relegation, in the relegation zone. So they're going to have to, and with the top 4 battles so close. Ayan Ibrahim says, do you think Raheem Sterling will score in the next 3 City games? Let's hope so, mate. I really do. Theo Tran says, just joined. Have you discussed Sancho? Yes, unfortunately we have. Watch this video back. Don't forget, when we finish this live vlog, if you just wait 10-15 minutes, the actual video, it will then come up on the channel and you can watch it all back and everything that's in there. Glory hunters, yeah, but that's just the way it is. We have glory hunters in the UK and we have glory hunters overseas. That's just the byproduct of success. So when you get glory hunters, it means that you are a successful team. Fav says, do you think Brahim Diaz will come back like Pogba? No, doubt it. See you, Shedders. Anyway, I'm going to go. Catch you soon. You too, buddy. Gotta go. Bye. Yeah, see you, Ema. France Ariano announced they will be buying a club in India before the end of the year. Yeah, it's going to happen without a shadow of a doubt. A world domination by Manchester City. Take it easy, mate. Yeah, you too, City boy. Anyway, guys, we spoke about Raheem, his 3 goals last night. I mean, were just wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. And you can just see the confidence that he's got. And it's just, I'm so pleased for him. Some City fans were giving him a hard time in his first year here. I always thought, and I kept sticking up for him, saying, he's going to be a great player. He's only a kid. Give him time. And I'm so grateful that Pep Guardiola's come in and just worked with him. And it's not just all about Pep. It's about him. It's about Raheem taking on those messages, doing everything doing everything he could. And he's become a wonderful, wonderful player. I mean, that second goal last night, you know, again, just like his goal he scored for his hat-trick, the little dink over, you know, if that would have... yeah, thanks, Chris. Good luck in the game against Fulham. Yep, you too, mate. Yeah, if Messi scored that, you'd be going, brilliant. Just, that's typical Messi. Last night, second goal was wonderful. So, I'm so pleased for him. Had a wonderful game and got an assist. He got the penalty for Kane. So, anyway, guys, I've got to go. I've got to finish off packing. Does the story about Saul had any legs? Paper talk, if I'm honest with you, mate. Paper talk. I don't think it has, if I'm being really honest. Just like I said, Theo, you'll see lots of articles while the international break is on, talking about we're linked with this, we're linked with that player, we're linked with this one, we're linked with that one. That's because there's no other news to report on, so they've got to keep up this clicks and likes and, you know, get it out there. So I will take anything that comes out this week and next week in the press with a pinch of salt, if I'm honest. Unless there's any direct quotes. Kasim, have a good holiday. Thank you, mate. See you later, Oasis. UG. Yeah, I probably won't do a video tomorrow because I'm flying. So by the time we get to the villa and things like that, it'll be late afternoon and then settling in. Ray will do something tomorrow. I'll probably be back on Monday at some point with a video, just as a catch up and say hello to everyone. So don't forget, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Subscribe. Thank you, Will Davis. Thank you. Will, have a good holiday. Have a great jolly Andy. Cheers, Blue Heart. Where you going? Tomorrow morning, first thing. Does last night make Sterling a favourite for... Well, could do JK UK. Could do. You know, when you score a hat-trick for England and on the back of the hat-trick he scored before for City, could do. Thank you, mate. Yeah, don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe below. Click notifications, share it around. I'm going to a villa in the mountains just outside of Malaga, mate. So it's a beautiful place. So nice and peaceful. To bit of relaxation, read some books and things like that, and chill out and speak to you guys while I'm there. So and work. I'll be working on my laptop as well during the day, and in the pool, hopefully, if the weather's as nice as it has been this week. So spread the news, get it out there. We're the only fan channel giving you these type of videos every single day without fail. Yeah, guys, see you later, Andy, mate. Have a good holiday. Thank you so much. You go and buy yourself. No, my wife's going. This time, my lads are staying here, looking after the house. But they're sensible. So anyway, take care. Sandy from Man City Fan TV. Have a great weekend wherever you are in the world, and thank you again for all your contributions. You're absolute stars, and we love interacting and chatting to you.